You're listening to the broadcast on rootsmedia.ca.
Toronto tragedy. HST fury. Emery gives in. Offshore drilling. Good Friday to you. It is May the 14th of 2010. This is Ernie Hiltz and you are listening to the Roots broadcast. First said to be a chase leading to a heart attack leads Special Investigations Unit probe into a quick chase and altercation between Toronto police officers and Junior Manon. Someone called CP24 telling them the victim was a healthy 18-year-old man who may have had his neck broken. Junior's sister was reported to be choked in her own tears, saying there was blood all over the place. He was struggling. It was a painful death. Others reported a few officers punching him in the face and kicking him in the ribs before 5 more officers joined in on the beating. A rally was held demanding
justice for Junior! A young black man! Justice for Junior! Justice for Junior!
The Ontario New Democratic Party says the average couple with children will be paying an average of over $200 more for annual gasoline costs with the new harmonized sales tax, the HST. Tuesday last week in British Columbia, the anti-HST petition gathered support from 10% of the population. It has over 300,000 signatures. Once 10% of each electoral district has signed, there will be a referendum to bring it to the people. In Ontario, there are Aboriginals standing up for right of tax exemption. They are calling on a referendum on behalf of all the people in Ontario. There will be a rally starting at 12:30 at Queen's Park on May the 19th, followed with a press conference at 1:30. The Ontario Progressive Conservatives, the official opposition, has organized a vote in legislature next week. Liberal Premier Dalton McGuinty is criticized for not consulting with First Nations and his own parliament. There are 50% more women going to prison since 2001. The number of Aboriginal women has risen 90%, making up 33% of the total female inmate population. Only 3% of women in Canada are Aboriginal. Kim Pate of the Elizabeth Fry Society says sentencing a woman to prison also sentences her children often to social services. The cost of imprisonment is also the cost of the state care of those children. After holding a demonstration asking for public support to call on the government to keep him in Canada, Mark Emery pleaded guilty to the American drug charges for his distribution of marijuana seeds. He was arrested in 2005 by the Canadian police and has been facing extradition since. Canada's Justice Minister has signed off from the extradition. Emery desires to serve a sentence in Canada, and the United States has agreed. The Public Safety Minister was called on by fellow MP Libby Davies of the NDP, saying to stop the extradition to the United States of America, that it's for actions that are not worthy of prosecution under Canadian laws. Bill S-10 was introduced by the Harper Conservatives, which includes a 6-month minimum sentence for growing 6 to 200 marijuana plants. Bill S-10 is similar to previous Bill C-15, where the mandatory minimum sentence was for only 1 plant. Cannabis Culture reports Bill C-15 filled with criticism that it would inflame current problems with organized crime and gangs. With more people in fear of incarceration for growing themselves or amongst friends, more will turn to highly organized crime for supply. Activists raise fear of violence within the trade and that the mandatory sentences of personal growers will cost the taxpayers billions. American Natural Resources Defense Council Save Biogems Project has a letter campaign to President Obama to impose a moratorium on new offshore drilling. The letter is in disagreement with Obama's decision to open up more of America's coastal waters to oil drilling. For more information on the campaign, go to savebiogems.org's homepage and click on Say No to New Offshore Oil Drilling. In Canada, Jack Layton and the New Democratic Party pressured to form the Standing Committee on Natural Resources to conduct hearings and to regulations and response capability of a similar situation to the Gulf of Mexico and the Arctic. British Petroleum, Chevron Canada, and ExxonMobil Canada have rights to explore the Arctic coast. The NDP says the federal regulators admitted that they do not know whether Canada possesses the resources necessary to respond to a serious oil spill in the Arctic. That's all for now. Thank you for listening to the Roots broadcast.